Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Shri Ram Sankirtan Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskritya
Narayanam Namaskritya
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Naram Chaiva Narottamam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Devim Saraswatim Vyasam
Tato Jayamudire
Tato Jayamudire
Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu
Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhagavati Uttama Shloke
Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki.
Bhakti Bhavati Naishtiki.
We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 17, The Descent of the River Ganges, Shloka number 13. Yatraha Deva Pataya Svaihi Svair Gana Nayakair Vihita Maharhanaha Sarvatu Kusuma Stabaka Pala Kishalaya Shriya Na Myamana Vitapa Lata Vitapibir Upashumbhamana Ruchira Kananashraya Mayatana Varsha Giridronishu Tata Chamala Jalashayeshu Vikacha Vivida Nava Vanaruhamoda Mudita Rajahamsachala Kutta Karandava Sarasa Chakravakadigir Madhukara Nikara Kritibir Upakujiteshu Jala Kridadibir Vicharita Vinoday Sulalita Surasundari-nam Kama Kalila Vilasa Hasa Leela Valoka Krishna Manodrishtaya Swairam Viharanti. What do it mean? Yatraha, in those 8 tracts of land, Devapatayaha, the lords of the demigods, such as Lord Indra, Svaihi Svaihi, by their own respective, Gananayakaihi, leaders of the servants, Vihita, furnished with Maha Arhanaha, valuable gifts, such as sandalwood pulp and garlands, Sarva Ritu, in all seasons, Kusumastabaka, of bunches of flowers, Phala, of fruits, Kishalaya Shriya, by the opulence of shoots, Anamyamana, Vitapa,
Vitapa,
whose branches,
whose branches,
Lata,
Lata,
and creepers,
and creepers,
Vitapibihi,
Vitapibihi,
by many trees,
by many trees,
Upashumbhamana,
Upashumbhamana,
being fully decorated,
being fully decorated,
Ruchira,
Ruchira,
beautiful,
beautiful,
Kanana,
Karana,
gardens,
gardens,
Ashrama Ayatana,
Ashrama Ayatana,
and many hermitages,
and many hermitages,
Varshagiri Dronishu,
Varshagiri Dronishu,
the valley between the mountains,
the valley between the mountains,
designating the borders
designating the borders
of the tracts of land,
of the tracts of land,
Tata,
Tata,
as well as Cha, also, Amala Jala Ashayeshu,
Amanajala Ashayeshu,
in lakes with clear water,
in lakes of clear water,
Vikacha,
Vikacha,
just fructified,
just fructified,
Vivida,
Vivida,
varieties,
varieties,
Nava Vanaruha Amoda,
Navavanaruha Amoda,
by the fragrance of lotus flowers,
by the fragrance of lotus flowers,
Mudita,
Mudita,
enthused,
enthused,
Rajahamsa,
Rajahamsa,
great swans,
great swans,
Jalakukkuta,
Jalakukuta,
waterfowl,
waterfowl,
Karandava,
Karandava,
aquatic birds,
aquatic birds,
called Karandavas,
called Karandavas,
Sarasa,
Sarasa,
cranes,
cranes,
Chakravaka Adibihi,
Chakravaka Adi,
the birds known as Chakravaka,
birds known as Chakravakas,
and so on,
and so on.
Madhukara Nikara Akritibihi,
Madhukara Nikara Akritibihi,
by the bumblebees,
by the bumblebees,
Upakujiteshu,
Upakujiteshu,
which were made to resound,
which we made to resound,
Jalakrida Adibihi,
Jalakrida Adibihi,
such as water sports,
such as water sports,
Vichirita,
Vichirita,
Vichitra,
Vichitra,
various,
various,
Vinodahi,
Vinodai,
by pastimes,
by pastimes,
Sulalita,
Sulalita,
attractive,
attractive,
Surasundarinam,
Surasundarina,
of the women of demigods,
of the women of demigods,
Kama,
Kama,
from lust,
from lust,
Kalila,
Kalila,
Born,
born,
Vilasa,
Vilasa,
pastimes,
pastimes,
Hasa,
Hasa,
smiling,
smiling,
Leela Valoka,
Leela Avaloka,
by playful glances,
by playful glances,
Akrishtamanaha,
Akrishtamana,
whose minds are attracted,
whose minds are attracted,
Drishtayaha,
Drishtaya,
and whose vision is attracted,
and whose vision is attracted,
Swairam,
Swairam,
very freely,
very freely,
Viharanti,
Viharanti,
engage in sportive enjoyment.
engage in sportive enjoyment.
Purport, translation and purport by Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Vaishya Prabhupada. Jai Shri Prabhupada. In each of those tracts of land, there are many gardens filled with flowers and fruits according to the season, and there are beautiful decorated hermitages as well. Between the great mountains demarcating the borders of those lands lie enormous lakes of clear water filled with newly grown lotus flowers. Aquatic birds such as swans, ducks, water chickens, and cranes become greatly excited by the fragrance of lotus flowers, and the charming sound of bumblebees fills the air. The inhabitants of those lands are important leaders among the demigods, always attended by their respective servants. They enjoy life in gardens alongside the lakes. In this pleasing situation, the wives of the demigods smile playfully at their husbands and look upon them with lusty desires. All the demigods and their wives are constantly supplied with sandalwood pulp and flower garlands by their servants. In this way, all the residents of the 8 heavenly Varshas enjoy, attracted by the activities of the opposite sex. Purport. Here is a description of the lower heavenly planets. The inhabitants of those planets enjoy life in a pleasing atmosphere of clear lakes filled with newly grown lotus flowers and gardens filled with fruits, flowers, various kinds of birds and humming bees. In that atmosphere, they enjoy life with their very beautiful wives who are always sexually stimulated. Nonetheless, they are all devotees of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, as will be explained in subsequent verses. The inhabitants of this earth also desire such heavenly enjoyment, but when they somehow or other achieve imitation pleasure like sex and intoxication, they completely forget the service of the Supreme God. In the heavenly planets, however, although the residents enjoy superior sense gratification, They never forget their position as eternal servants of the Supreme Being. उमज्ञानतिमिरान्धश्यानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः. श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं. वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरः श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने. नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. नमो महावदन्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनामने गौरभीषे नमः. हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते. तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद. हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. So this purport or this kind of slokas may be looking quite contradictory, where Bhagavatam, which is considered to be an Amala Puran, and the Mala is sense gratification, liberation, and and things like that. So how can such a scripture contain such descriptions of sense gratification, and also that is mentioned even amidst this sense gratification they don't forget the Supreme Lord and they are still called as devotees. So one of the things that we need to understand is that the basic construction of this material world is for two purposes. So one purpose of the construction is for sense gratification and another purpose is for advancement in Krishna consciousness. So both these things are simultaneously fulfilled in every layer, at every place, especially like this human form of life also, if we see, it is designed for two purposes. Like what all different things that we know of, why this human form of life is there, or why this material body is given to us. Purposes, any references? Any this ones?
Classic shlokas.
So the purpose is to execute like uninterrupted, unmotivated devotion service. Then any other this one purpose for which this human body is created? Kleshada Ashadeva. Prabhupada often says, no? Kleshada Ashadeva means what? Kleshada means Klesh Dene Klesh. So to this one, this human beings, to give the miseries, material miseries. A body is the medium. Without the body, like soul cannot experience this pain. So even Yamadutas also tell, like when Vishnuduta's question, or like this whole conversation happens, that people are telling you are Dharmaraj, servants of Dharmaraj, so please tell us about Dharma. And at the time they tell that this whatever, what is that? Whatever mentioned in the scriptures is Dharma, and whatever against that is Adharma. And in general, everybody commits adharma, and then we come and beat them left, right, center. The whole purpose is that we just simply catch them and beat them. So this is also one of the things that human or this body is given in such a way that it can actually experience the punishments that are actually given by the superior authorities. So that is also there, and then also for the purpose of making spiritual advancement. So, and for sense gratification. Sense gratification is also another thing it is tuned for. So like the senses are designed for sense gratification, right? So the senses naturally attract a person towards sense gratification. So broadly speaking, two things: sense gratification and perfection of life or advancement in Krishna consciousness. So these are two purposes it serves. So like Savai Mana Krishna Padara Vindayor, there every one of the senses or every limb of the body is being counted, how it can be engaged in the service of the Lord, and it can facilitate. It's the apt kind of an body, so which can facilitate advancement in Krishna consciousness. In other places, this is mentioned. It is apt to do sense gratification. So both these things are mentioned. So materialistic people will keep telling you that, why are you, like just it's not the senses ko kyun daba rahe, खोल के जियो ना अच्छे से like like if you want to enjoy, like just खोल के enjoy करो. So why are you like controlling yourself? So there are two natures that are there. So one is material nature and spiritual nature. So like we also tell that like the real this one what is the real position of the living entity is to be part and parcel of the Supreme Lord and to enjoy the transcendental pleasure. तुम भी खोल के enjoy करो. क्यों spiritualist? Why are you suppressing your spiritual side of yourself, right? So in this way, like both the things are there, and Prabhupada often tells that when there is a fever or when there is some disease is there, so the natural thing is to lie down and taste nahi lagta hai, to like खाने के लिए मन नहीं लगता है, and then we cannot say like just be natural. इलाज करना पड़ेगा, ठीक होना पड़ेगा actually. So that is very essential actually. So sometimes like this argument of be natural doesn't work. So here we see that this material world is created for sense gratification. There must also be sense gratification, right? So it is not that everywhere you are told that you should not gratify your senses at all. So like it is, but only condition is that it has to be sense gratification has to be touched, then it has to be touched under the rules and regulations. So like here it is mentioned about the 8 varshas, total 9 varshas are there. So of them the 8 are described, the final one is Bharata Varsha will be specially described. So because Bharata Varsha is not one of the lower heavenly planets, it is meant for making advancement of Krishna consciousness exclusively. So there this kind of facility is not given. So now everywhere there is a different places, different areas that are allocated for different purposes, and it has to be done like that. So now if somebody goes to a classroom in a school and then plays football, so kya bolenge? So like teacher will not appreciate that. So but if he during the play time, or if he is nominated as a player for the state or something like that, so then he'll get periods also, like free attendance milega usko, and jaake pura khel sakte hain, and then that is the designated job for him, and he is doing that in a designated place, right? So like here it is a designated place. The heavenly planets are the designated place for enjoyment, and this what is the designation for the Bharata Varsha? Huh? Karma Bhumi. Okay. Austerities. Tapasya. Tapasya is the primary this one of Bharata Varsha. So anybody who has come to Bharata Varsha, if he does tapasya, he'll be happy. If he wants to enjoy, दूसरा किधर जाना पड़ेगा. He has to perform tapasya and then go to heavenly planets and enjoy. Don't try to enjoy here. That's a very important principle actually. So if somebody tries to enjoy in this place, it's a wrong place. It's just like playing football in a classroom. So उसको पिटाई मिलेगा, लेकिन उसको he will not be able to बीच में बेंच रहेगा, like उसको ठीक से उसको like he will not be satisfied playing football there, and on top of it पिटाई भी मिलेगा उसको. So but if he goes to a playground, it is the playground is designed for playing, and this one also, like if he plays there, like he will get medal and he'll like assembly में बुला के like उसको सम्मान करेंगे and things like that. So wrong place doing wrong things is a problem. So like in the material world, and that too in Kali Yuga, I think in the last class you all might have heard that Kali Yuga is the worst place to enjoy. No, so like there is nothing great about this Kali Yuga. And when people try to enjoy in this kind of awkward kind of a situation, so then it is like going against all odds. It is not at all the apt place for performing sense gratification. Anybody who is having a little bit of intelligence, if at all he wants to make enjoyment, if at all he wants to have material enjoyment, he will make a plan to go to heavenly planets. Trying to enjoy in this world is like completely bogus. So here also like the material, like facilities for sense gratification is created, but it has to be earned. Just like in this world also, facility for sense gratification is created. So malls are created, and then like liquor shops and many this ones are created. Even there you have to go and pay for it. That is when you will get it. It is not that without paying you don't get anything anywhere, right? So in the same way, like material sense gratification is arranged in this material world, but one has to pay for it. So all the demigods who are mentioned here, so they would have executed the varnashrama duties very nicely. They would have executed tapasya, desiring sense gratification along with Krishna consciousness. That's how they end up in the heavenly planets. So if they don't, if they only desire sense gratification and without Krishna consciousness, they will go to lower planetary systems. They don't. There is Bilva Surga, that is also that will be mentioned over here. So they also perform tapasya. So, but then without Krishna consciousness, or they don't want what is that? So the elevation is based on the Krishna conscious, this one, and there is sense gratification is another component. Elevation in Krishna consciousness is another component. So a combination of these two, actually designates different locations in the planetary system. So this is provided for. So now one has to go to the higher planets, or one has to go to the higher realms. So this, altitude wise, this may not be called as a higher planet because it is in the same Bhumandala. So all the Varshas, but they are also called as heavenly planets because they are called lower heavenly planets. So there, like you would have discussed about the standard of enjoyment over there, and here we see that enjoyment means like not gadgets and things like that. Enjoyment means nice gardens, bumblebees, swans, and all those things. So that is enjoyment actually. So like here we see the standard of enjoyment. So it is not like cutting all the trees and then making deserts and artificial things and things like that, and then trying to enjoy with some nice gadgets and concrete buildings and things like that. So that is not considered to be enjoyment. So here the standard of material enjoyment is very nicely laid down. So even if materialist is there, if he thinks that I want to enjoy, so first of all he should execute tapasya, and then he should achieve such a this one. So that is when he'll be able to enjoy the proper standard of material enjoyment. So that is why like the inhabitants of Kali Yuga are like pathetic. They are neither they have spiritual enjoyment nor they have material enjoyment. So they only have hellish enjoyment. So like even now, like what their enjoyment they are going through, it's hellish. And after finishing this, where they will go, that is also like hellish kind of existence. Because they are trying to access the material sense gratification without paying for it. It's just like दारू का दुकान में जाके like ऐसे चुरा के आ गया बॉटल, तो और पकड़ रहे हैं like पकड़ने के बाद वो बोलता है कि like क्यों ऐसे चुरा के लेके जा रहा है? अरे तुम जो दारू बेच रहे हो वो थोड़ी like बड़ा pious activity you are doing. You are also doing simple activity. I am also doing simple activity. फिर भी वो पकड़ के पिटाई देंगे. So दारू भी उसको भी पेमेंट करना पड़ता है. So sense gratification has to be paid for. So that is very important consideration. So these are all people, like they are doing legal sense gratification after making sufficient payment along with Krishna consciousness, right? And another aspect we always discuss upon is that Krishna conscious activities, to take up like uninterrupted Krishna conscious activities, engagement in 64 angas, it is quite difficult. It is not that easy. So always people want a like combination. So like little bit of Krishna consciousness along with sense gratification. So that's the combination people actually want. And if the sense gratification is needed, so then like it has to be accessed through a particular channel, an authorized channel. So when it is accessed through an authorized channel, so then his Krishna consciousness is not disturbed. No. So like a person who wants sense gratification, so he performs tapasya, he follows the rules and regulations of varnashrama, and then he elevates himself to like the heavenly planets, and then he tries to enjoy over there. So such enjoyment will not damage his Krishna consciousness or the basic minimum Krishna consciousness what what is there. So for getting the higher version of Krishna consciousness, one has to give up all kinds of sense gratification. That is definitely there. So this is all comes under the category of kamya, which will not allow a person to make tremendous advancement towards Krishna consciousness, where he wants to attain the Lord within one lifetime or something like that. So that is not possible at all through this kind of elevation. So like this is all like extra allowance that they are actually exercising. So now we see that these when the sense gratification is approached, if it is approached through a proper channel, so then it doesn't affect the Krishna consciousness, or whatever the basic minimum Krishna consciousness. So like here the Krishna consciousness what is talked about is not about a higher version of Krishna consciousness, it is somewhat lower in this one. So they are aware that they are spirit souls, they are aware that they are part and parcel of the Lord, they are aware that they are meant to render service to the Supreme Lord, and even the sense gratification what they are doing at this point in time, it may appear like because we have an experience of Kali Yuga version of sense gratification. So here what they are doing is dharmic version of sense gratification. So there is a gulf of difference that is there between the like sense gratification that is done here and the sense gratification is done by the demigods. So they never break dharma. So like they are tuned, or they are trained so much in following of the dharma. So they never break dharma in the process of gratifying their senses. And even if they break, it can be documented, or it is very few, like demigods like Indra and all these personalities. So like इतना ही गलती किया जितना भागवतम में बताया, like उससे ज़्यादा नहीं, हमारा तो लिख ही नहीं पाएंगे, शुरू ही नहीं कर पाएंगे, कितना करेंगे हम. So like so in general they are quite dharmic. They are not like what is that reckless sense gratifiers. That is not the case. So but for the people who are engaged in the Tivra Bhakti, who want to attain the lotus feet of the Lord very quickly. So for them, even these things are all also not very good for them. So it is these descriptions are like attraction towards the heavenly planets is also not very good. So it's very very bad. In fact, it is mentioned that bhukti mukti spriha yavat pishachi hridi vartate tavat bhakti sukhasyartam katham abhyudayo bhavet. So like till the time the ghost or the witches of desire for material pleasure and desire for liberation haunts a person, so it is not possible for that person to enjoy or experience the bliss of Krishna consciousness. So it is very essential that seriously practicing devotees should avoid this. So but then Srimad Bhagavatam talks about this. So there is, you heard about how the viruses are treated. If somebody has a viral infection, how it is treated? Antivirus में क्या होता है? वो वायरस को मार के उसको अंदर घुसाते हैं, ऐसे like so in this one Bhagavatam, how it does is it describes about heavenly enjoyment, and after that असुर लोग आते हैं उसको सताते हैं, and things like that. So it is the heavenly enjoyment is being showed in such a way that ये तो useless है, and then there will be like descriptions within short time. So now all these things are going in summary, but when it comes to this one of Prahlad Maharaj ka, this one I think Hari Varsha, one of the Varshas Prahlad Maharaj is there, next chapter you will see a series of shlokas that comes, and here other this ones that discusses about sense gratification, 1, 2, 3 shloka mein khatam ho jata hai. So like emphasis, what is the emphasis that is being put, and also like so like sufficiently it is detonated, the bomb or the virus which is killed and then sent inside, it acts as an antivirus. The sense gratification that is described in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam, it actually acts as an antivirus for us. So, like, this is the right way to get introduction of what is sense gratification, right? So this is like a completely biased, bhakti biased description of sense gratification, where like one understands all these things, and at the same time, okay, this is the standard of sense gratification, and it has its own, like deficiencies, which will not, give the complete satisfaction to the heart, right? So in that way, like, we take these, statements of these sections in that way. So it is mentioned that how the gardens, which is filled with flowers and fruits in all seasons. So like whenever this one comes, like immediately Srila Prabhupada actually, connects to the Varnashrama and the standard of material happiness and the standard of life that is supposed to be there in this material world. So there are different functions that are there for different people. Like the sadhus who have dedicated their life, their primary business is to see that how to make spiritual advancement. And this same Srimad Bhagavatam and the devotional literatures will also in future produce Kshatriyas, will also produce Vaishyas, will also produce different classes of people. And here the component that the Kshatriyas are supposed to make note is that the primary job of the Kshatriyas is to ensure that the well-being of the people in general is taken care of. And how is the well-being taken care of? All these things should manifest, clear water lakes, and nice gardens and nice this one and things like that. So these all things must be there, like they are meant to ensure that such things are, actually provided for, to the people in general. So, and then we see that there is beautifully decorated hermitages, and so hermitages is mentioned, but sadhus are not mentioned. शायद से लेके साधु लोग इधर नहीं जाते. So, and then between great mountains demarcating the borders of those lands, like enormous lakes of clear waters filled with newly grown lotus flowers, and then aquatic birds such as swans, ducks, water chickens and cranes become greatly excited by the fragrance of lotus flowers, and the charming sound of the bumblebees filled the air. So like we see a similar kind of a situation. So it is mentioned in the Vrindavan pastimes also, like all these kind of situations. So one thing that devotee starts thinking is that, so anything that is enjoyable that is there, so that must be offered in the service of Krishna. And so like Krishna also enjoys, like if you see the Vrindavan atmosphere, so it is also something which is very, very similar. All different kinds of birds, all different kinds of entities are there, and then they are providing nice gratification for the senses of the Supreme Lord, Rishikesha. So like so then the inhabitants of those lands are important leaders among the demigods, always attended by their respective servants, and they enjoy life in gardens alongside the lakes. So enjoyment means like sufficient materials to gratify the senses must be there, and also like sufficient servants must be there. So it is like what is that? Like Akela Raja, no, aisa nahi hai. So there must be like lot of servants, they are there. So like these personalities who enjoy in these tracts of land, so they are provided with sufficient number of servants. In this pleasing situation, the wives of the demigods smile playfully at their husbands and look upon them with lusty desires. All the demigods and their wives are constantly supplied with sandalwood pearl and flower garlands by their servants. So the moment devotees read this, so they think that ye to acha jagah nahi bhajan karne ke liye. So we should they take caution of this ones, and then see that okay fine, let them do all this kind of enjoyment. So but the devotees they feel great satisfaction when they are amongst other devotees who are also seriously practicing Krishna consciousness, who are relishing the treasure of Krishna consciousness, right? So in this way, all the residents of 8 heavenly varshas enjoy, attracted by the activities of opposite sex. So now we see that like in general, the heavenly planets are mentioned there. So there is so much of enjoyment that impetus for serious Krishna consciousness or serious advancement in Krishna consciousness becomes difficult, in those places, because they are satisfied. So satisfaction is a very nice this one, like the as we mentioned in the beginning. So if somebody wants material sense gratification to their best of satisfaction, so they should go to the heavenly planets. So now, like if they are satisfied, so then there is no desire for making progress, so that is actually gets affected actually. So in that way, like we see that the Bharata Varsha, it is designed for making progress. So designed for making progress means like either everything may not be like so satisfactory, like especially the sense gratification definitely will not be satisfactory, because this land is meant for tapasya. So like in this section only it is already covered or not, I don't know, that Naranarayan Rishi and no. So that will come where the different planets, if you see, all the places, all these different varshas, there are different incarnations of the Lord is there, and the different traits of the people are there. So all those things are mentioned. So it is quite conducive for heavenly enjoyment. So but then the Bharata Varsha, when it comes, so like the worshipper is Narad Muni, and then the predominating deity is Naranarayan Rishi. And the deity itself is performing tapasya, and the worshipper is also performing tapasya. So that is the basic build or basic nature of this Bharata Varsha. So it is a tapo bhumi, and it is people who want to perform tapasya. They will be like the environment is designed for that. It will be conducive for them. So other this ones are not conducive. So even in the Bharata Varsha, like if you see, like especially in the Bhagavatam or in the Vedic understanding, so Bharata Varsha not just means this India, it means the whole planet also. Like it's a vast tract of land. So even here also, the best place for executing tapasya is the holy land of India. So in all other places it is quite difficult to practice tapasya. So in fact the customs and the way the people perform various things, so it is all quite filled with the material activities a lot. So in India, if we see, like one of the devotees were sharing that even in the marriages and things like that and all, so nowadays not the current day marriages, at least in city marriages, so like in the traditional marriages we see there is so much of recitation of Vedic hymns, and so much of recitation of mantras and things like that. So automatically in every samskara we see that there is so much of recitation of Vedic mantras. So that makes the whole samskara, like that actually creates a very nice this one. So like, but then Western samskaras, if we see, like there is no samskara at all. So like Western this one, if you see, like the whole thing is exchanged based on sense gratification only. All the procedures are based on sense gratification. But here, the traditional samskaras, if we see, like everything is based on even such an act as a marriage, which is like primarily looked upon as an act of sense gratification. Even there is so much of Vedic mantras that are chanted. So naturally the Garbhadan samskara and all these things, naturally it happens. So like when such a kind of a marriage is executed where 10-12 days, like so much of rituals and so much of chanting of mantras and things like that, after that the like husband and wife come together, obviously good progeny will come, So that is a kind of this one that is there. So we see like in the Bharata Varsha, especially in that also the holy land of India, so like in its traditional way, that has been brought up. So we see that there is good samskaras that is built in, that even the gross sense gratification is quite this one quite restricted actually. So in fact my mother used to tell that when they used to go to school, they have to cross 2 villages to go to the school. So it would take like good 1 hour of walk, 1.5 hours of walk. So that time the the brother and sister would not walk together in the street. So that is the kind of this one culture that they had. So at that point in time, so like they would go front like sister would go front and the brother would come behind. So that's how the culture was. So abhi to like nobody knows who two people are, like they are joining hands and walking. So that is like quite crazy actually. So this is, we see that the if the dharma is executed properly, that is the varnashrama dharma is executed properly, so then the artha and kama must follow. That is the material dharma. So like the artha and kama, like we see that this is the kind of this ones will come like wonderful gardens and lotus flowers and things like that and all. It is not about just like a matter of gardening, matter of allocating place for all these things. It is also about performing of the punya, the performance of dharma. So like in our Tamil literatures, like we have in the schools we have studied that when the king is dharmic, so like this when the one in a particular season, when the rain comes, so the first droplets that fall on the head of the elephant will turn into pearls or something like that. And then this one, even the mountains and all these entities, they also create many wonderful gems and things like that and all. So so it is not, and gold formation and things like that. So all of them depends upon the execution of dharma by the mass of the people, and especially the king being dharmic is quite highly estimated in the all of the Vedic scriptures. So like if that is happening, so then automatically there is so much of natural resources that actually flourish. So now the current situation is because people are becoming more and more adharmic, so natural resources are getting depleted, and after that, like if there is less natural resources, then there is so much of competition. There is so much of fights that is actually happening. Who will actually get the natural resources? But in the pages of Bhagavatam, we see that like during the Pandavas' time, so Yudhishthir Maharaj was so dharmic, and there was citation of another king who's quite dharmic, like where Arjuna was sent to collect the gold and come. Which is the kingdom? So somewhere in the north, like he was sent to collect the gold and come. And there it is mentioned that the ruler was so dharmic that people would get so much of this one donation of gold and things like that, and they were also so content and dharmic in nature that jitna chahiye utna rakhenge, baki fek denge. So it is not good for spiritual advancement. So like that. So in every street, everywhere, like there were lots of gold that was available, and Arjuna could he got the name Dhananjaya. So like he went and collected all of them and he came. So this is the Vedic culture, is that by execution of dharma you produce lots and lots of natural resources, and when you have lots of natural resources, then there is no fight, like kitna chahiye le lo, like so jitna mujhe chahiye usse zyada hai, like leke jao. So in fact Prabhupada also used to tell in one lecture that before, when the wealth was measured in terms of food grains, land and cows, people were not at all greedy. Like they used to have that ठीक है, like कितना मैं खाऊंगा, तुम भी लेके जाओ, like दान करते थे, like इसका grains को. So but then after the printed note came, after the printed note and standardization of money happened. So then, so like this one, milk you can use, grains you can use, land you can use, so money directly you cannot use, you have to translate it for using. And money started, like people started accumulating money, and once they started accumulating money, then all sorts of negative impacts actually started coming. So then stealing started happening, then enviousness, and then greediness. All these things started becoming more and more actually. So the real standard of economy is grains, cows and land. This is the real standard of economy, and more we go towards that, so more we will be happy. Like more people will develop. To develop Krishna consciousness is very nice. So recently there is one book that has been released. It is The Perfect Society or something like that. Like about Varnashrama, one book is released. So I just was reading that book. So it is mentioned that that Prabhuji, like Prabhupada disciple, so he's very nicely establishing Varnashrama in city is like almost like a joke only. No, it is not possible. So there is necessary qualities that is needed. The simplicity, how a devotee becomes simple and then natural and things like that. So that is not possible, to become amidst the material atmosphere, the atmosphere that is surcharged with materialism. So it is not at all possible. In city, only thing that is possible is only way it is possible to develop good qualities is that only engagement in 64 angas of bhakti. So if you want to do like bhakti and as well as dharmic material activity, then city chhod ke jana padega. So there is no way of practicing or like making tremendous advancement in Krishna consciousness, like staying back in the city, like doing both material and spiritual activities. So either a person has to be like hardcore preacher, so or he has to go to some farm project. So otherwise there is no purpose for him to stay in the city. This one actually. So the missionary activities is the only saving grace in the city. So like if somebody has to perform this Varanashrama, then he has to go to the countryside where the transaction is not happening in money. The transaction is happening in terms of cows, milk, grains and land and things like that. So then it is Prabhupada actually analyzes it very nicely. So then it actually makes a person very, very simple. It makes a person like the dharmic tendencies will come. Like TK, even if I accumulate grains, it is a wealth. Even if I accumulate grains, what will I get? After some time सड़ जाएगा, दूसरों को दे दो, अच्छा है. So like that. So it is quite quite a nice this one. So first of all, to create such a thing, like Prabhupada also used to tell that if there is barren land and if there is not much of flourishing things like this, what is mentioned here, so you simply go there and chant Hare Krishna. Over a period of time, it will become flourishing. So if the dharma is executed in the tract of land, so then automatically that land becomes flourishing over a period of time, right? So that is how this particular thing is to be seen, that this kind of wealth, the material wealth to be created. So then no one has to perform dharma. So the mass of the people, if they perform dharma, so then such material wealth actually can be brought about. And then so like here, Prabhupada is mentioning about how the inhabitants of these heavenly planets, they are not forgetting Krishna. So this we sufficiently dealt with. So when the sense gratification is performed according to the rules and regulations of the Vedic scriptures, so then it actually gives immunity in terms of forgetting Krishna. So, but this also should be understood that it is not the remembrance of Krishna. What is talked about here is not of the standard of pure devotional service. So it is like it is of a lower version of remembrance of Krishna. So, but all said and done, like we as practitioners of Krishna consciousness, especially the version that we have subscribed to, is the serious version of Krishna consciousness, where we want to perfect our life within one lifetime or in one lifetime or something like that. So that requires a heavy price to be paid. That requires completely rejecting all sense gratification and very eagerly running towards Krishna. So that is the thing that is necessary for making advancement in the process of bhakti that we have subscribed to. So if somebody is trying to take full-time life, so that means he is mentally preparing himself that I should say no to all kinds of sense gratification, and I should be mad after attaining Krishna. So if these two things are there, so then it is apt for a person to take up to the brahmacharya ashram or full-time life. So otherwise what happens is that we have desire for sense gratification, and then we actively cultivate or preserve and cherish this one of sense gratification. So then it is not a playground to play football. It is like it is playing in a different area like that. So we should see that like this ashram and this particular this one is designed for tapasya and designed for controlling our desires for sense gratification, and then maximizing our engagement in Krishna consciousness. So that is how the whole program is designed. The morning program, whole thing is of kirtan or deity worship or study of Bhagavatam and things like that, and then all the different activities that we do are tuned for, or the environment that is set up also is tuned for executing the 64 angas of bhakti. So that is what we should be determined that we should not do anything else apart from these things. So we should take lessons from Bhagavatam that such personalities, even after enjoying their gross sexual activity and subtle sexual activity, so even after doing that for many years and things like that, still they are not at all satisfied. They don't come to the complete point of satisfaction. So this is to be noted from these sections. So with this I pause. Any questions, comments you can take. So devotees can share some points.
Thank you very much. It was nice class. This point is very nice. This is a tapo. It is meant only for austerity and nothing else. We try to enjoy, then it's only misery. And for the ones who wants to attain Krishna within one life as soon as possible, then you should be mad after Krishna and you give up full sense gratification. You are talking.
Thank you for nice class. You mentioned that heavenly planets is meant for enjoyment and Bharat Bhumi is meant for tapasya. And one who has material, who wants to material, he has to pay. He cannot go and steal, then he will be beaten up. And in this our in Ashram, we want to perfect ourselves in this life, and should be mentally prepared to say that no sense gratification and mad after this.
Hey Krishna, thank you very much for this nice class. So you explained this that Bhagavatam is meant for Tivra Bhakti, and then why many times these heavenly planets and other things are glorified in few verses. People might think that this is contradiction, but later on glorification is only for 2-3 verses, but then later on it is condemned for a long time. This is to remove our conception that in heavenly planets actually we cannot enjoy, even the enjoyment is there, it is very limited, and this place is meant in heavenly planets because they are satisfied, they cannot do Tivra Bhakti. But this place, Bharatvarsha, is meant that situation is not very comfortable, so it's very we can do Tivra Bhakti.
Material world is created for sense gratification and Krishna consciousness, and Bharatvarsha is meant for the person.
You mentioned that how Varnashram and city life coil together, and you also mentioned that how money is one of the root causes of all the evil. When money came into picture, people started becoming greedy, they started accumulating like that. But other things, when grains and land was there, they could directly use it, and when the people and the king follow dharma, land will give supplies profusely, and also even barren land will become fertile.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji. So you mentioned that this place is not for our enjoyment, and I love that example Prabhu, which you gave, if you play football in the classroom, then for sure it's not a correct place, and on top of that the teacher will come and beat us like anything. If we want to play, then go to the field and there we can play. And one more thing Prabhu, that sadhu's business, you said that those who are serious, their only business is that to always think how I can advance in spiritual life, because generally what happens sometimes after coming to Krishna consciousness and after spending some time we come into a relaxed mode, and after that we think okay इतना तो अभी कर लिया है, अभी ना थोड़ा relax वाले mode में चले जाते हैं. तो this sadhu's business is always think every time how to always advance in.
Hare Krishna, thank you for this nice class. So you mentioned a point the facility of sense gratification, one has to earn it, not steal, how the people earn it. So their current conditioned life is hellish, and afterwards also they go to hellish. And the
Renaissance and early planners, they did tapasya, so they went there and they did sense gratification illegally. And the ashram which I associate to, where I have had to give up all the thought of sense gratification and eagerly running towards the Krishna.
So you mentioned that Bharatvarsh Tapobhumi. Only if a person does austerities, then he will be active. Otherwise, they will be miserable.
To make this point, if dharma is established maximum, that land where they are staying, it will naturally become fertility, and it's also economically very strong. That point is very, and this is the possible. So we have to do austerity here. There is no self gratification. And another one is like when we have this sense gratification desires or tendency, we cannot remember the Lord. So the topmost.
Yeah, to the degree there is sense gratification is there, to that degree forgetfulness of the Lord will be there. It must be there. So, and that's how they remember only little bit about the Supreme Lord. So it is one thing that when we are there in this kind of environment, it is our job to encourage, inspire others by our own tapasya, and also be inspired by others' tapasya. So we are there in this material world which is tuned for sense gratification, and in this, if you want to maintain a serious mood of Krishna consciousness, is quite difficult, very very difficult. It's almost next to impossible. So it is only possible by the association of devotees. So we are heavily dependent on each other. So without each other's help, we cannot maintain this intense mood of Krishna consciousness. So in that way, we take inspiration and give inspiration in the association. And another thing, what is the definition of sense gratification? Gratifying the senses, that means if I sleep, that is sense gratification. If I eat, that is sense gratification. But when we talk about giving up sense gratification, means we cannot give up eating, sleeping and things like that. So how do you define what is sense gratification and what is not?
Anything which take our consciousness away from Krishna.
Anything that takes our consciousness away from Krishna is sense gratification. Any other practical parameters?
The desire only to enjoy, even when have prasadam, so that is there. That mood of tendency of enjoying prasadam, it is there. It is strong. It is Krishna prasadam touching the lips of the Lord and coming. So eating is happening, but in the terms of the consciousness that Krishna will be pleased.
So now, so to start with, maybe this may be a little difficult task to always see prasadam in the mood of service. So one thing that is advised to us is the tapasya for the beginning stages is Shravanam. So we should hear the holy name clearly and nicely, and we should study Bhagavatam, and hear the transcendental sound vibration clearly and legibly. So that is one tapasya we are doing. So as we make progress, so we will also simultaneously make all these things also get fine-tuned. So now, one thing which I recently was hearing about, in terms of sense gratification, is that how much is necessary for me. There is a quantity, that is, how much is necessary for me. If I eat that much, that is devotional service. In the association of devotees, if I eat that much, it is devotional service. If I eat more, that is sense gratification. If I eat less,
It is sin.
that is torturing of the body, which is a tool of the Lord, which is property of the Lord. So now I should not eat less, I should not eat more, and I should eat as much as it is necessary, for the purpose of maintaining the body and soul together, right? So and then as I make progress in the process of Shravanam, I become more and more absorbed in the process of Shravanam. So then, slowly, all other aspects also will get all set. So the first and foremost tapasya, that all of us, should subscribe and all of us should take it very, very seriously is Shravanam. Shravanam in the terms of holy name and Shravanam in terms of the Bhagavatam. That needs to be that is the tapasya that we need to do. So very importantly, and whatever is needed for that. So ample amount of sleep, ample amount of food. So all that is, whatever is needed to do this tapasya of Shravanam, so that must be undertaken. So if nice Shravanam is happening, then we go to the next stage, next stage, next stage. So Shravanam is not happening, then no, like, so we may be doing big services, big things, no, but like पहले ही bucket leak हो गया, like hole बन गया, कितना भी करेंगे कुछ, Shravanam ठीक से करेंगे, like then the holes get patched, then we make advancement in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, like advancement is उधर ही रुक गया, so आगे नहीं बढ़ेंगे actually. So in that way, like we see that no apt amount, no sleeping also. How much is needed? 6 hours, 7 hours, whatever is needed for that particular body, utna dena hai. Get refreshed and do this one. Anything less or more, more is considered to be sense gratification, less is considered to be like violence, violence upon the body. And then as we make spiritual progress, as we get the quality of Shravanam nice, so then automatically the necessity of eating, sleeping, mating and defending will reduce. So then after that, then this one is redefined. So what is sense gratification gets redefined. So पहले 7 घंटा सो रहा था, अभी now because of the quality of devotional service that he has executed, he requires only 6 hours sleep. अभी वो 7 घंटा सोएगा तो sense gratification. So like it changes, the definition changes as we make advancement. So like that, so it has to be tuned, time to time. So like, but the key thing is, more we connect properly with the spiritual plane of Shravanam nicely, Shravanam of the holy name and Bhagavatam. So then, automatically the parameters change over a period of time. So we'll stop here. And Bhagavatam ki jai, Lord Bhakta Ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai.